Wow, that had a lot of hip and a lot of hop in that little intro music they hooked us up with today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Live Better, brought to you by my friends over at Wave.video. Good to have you. Hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day and you're making the transition into St. Patrick's Day. I know we are here at my house. My wife has this new obsession with gnomes. I don't know how it started. I don't know the whole meaning behind it, but we now have holiday-themed gnomes that transition from one holiday to another. So the Valentine's ones are now gone. The St. Patrick Day ones are up. And she also likes to change the covers on the pillows for each holiday. So our living room is always festive and always current. Curious if any of you do anything similar. Do you have different decor that you switch out for all the different holidays, or are you just a Christmas only kind of person? Let me know. Curious to hear. Super excited to have you here with us today. And of course, our guest you are going to have, oh my goodness, what a treat we are in for with Justin Brown. He's going to be sharing how you can go live with the gear that you already have. And of course, we're here every week, typically Wednesdays at noon Eastern, but we're doing a special time for a special guy because he lives in a special place. He's down in Australia, and of course, I don't even know what time it is there, but it's a time that he could be here, and so that's why we're doing it. But if you want to make sure you're always aware of what's going on, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the bell, do all the buttons, press everything. If you see something you can press, push it. See what happens. And hopefully it's going to make sure that we notify you next time we have a show. You can also go to Wave.video and you can sign up for our newsletter there, and we'll email you when we have a new show or when we have new tips, tricks, rollouts of different features on our products, or maybe you'll get that lucky email that says you got access to the new live stream studio. By the way, we also have a special post on Facebook that we will put a link to in the comments. We want you to go there, take a look at it, share it. It's got a few little steps for you to do. If you do it, we're going to get you access to the live beta. We're going to send you some stickers. Yes, the Wave video stickers with the coveted yellow Chad. And you're going to be entered into a chance to win $2,500. I mean, who couldn't use $2,500? Of course, as the show goes on today, we want to make sure that you use the hashtag LiveBetter today and share with us a key takeaway that you've gotten during the show. You can share as many times as you want. Just use the hashtag LiveBetter followed by that key takeaway, and you are going to be entered into a chance to win what? A sticker pack or the new Wave Video Live Better Yellow Chad coffee mug. So make sure you do that. Use the hashtag LiveBetter. Share with us what you've learned, a little key takeaway. You can do it as we go. Hang out here with us. We'll announce the winners later. But enough of all that. Let's bring in, all the way from the other side of the world, the one and only Justin Brown. Wow.
Thank you very much for having me here. Was that upside down because I'm on the other side of the... Yeah, I get it. Well done.
They never tell me, like, usually they switch out the music. They'll try to make the music kind of themed based on what the person does or their background or where they're from or that kind of thing. But in this case, and I never listened because I don't want to know what the song is. But this time they messaged me. I guess
song.
They didn't want me to freak out, I think is what it was. And so they said, Chad, just so you know, it's going to start off upside down. So I wouldn't be like, what's going on? So
well done. I was like, I wonder if they know that. No, I know what he's doing here. Well played.
We did want to make you feel at home.
Bending the rules and getting me on. Like, you changed the whole live show time just so I could show up. So
everything. We even did this for you.
I've never heard this song before in my life. Just kidding.
You know, there's other people who are
you've
like,
gone all out. This is
people are like, what in the world is that?
Yeah,
and that is the Australian national anthem. So there you go.
You were going to sing it for us. You were about to start.
You know, I looked at the words and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm only going to do so much. You know, I'm gonna make you work for something.
Yeah. That's it. Well, yeah,
Oh,
that's
my
another. That's a whole
goodness.
nother show.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my goodness. So, man, I'm ready to just jump into this because you know it seems like we have so much time, and then before you know it, it's like, oh no, we ran out of time. And you and I've chatted many times before, and time can get away from us quickly. So,
Geeking out on
um,
this stuff.
exactly. Yeah. My first question. Okay, look, those of you who don't know, Justin, they're part of it's Primal Video. Their YouTube channel has a 1.18 million last time I looked subscribers. And if you pull that off, you're obviously doing something right. But my first question, before we get into the gear that you need, is how essential is it that someone be an Aussie in order to have this kind of success?
Apparently, it helps having an accent, but lucky for all of us on YouTube, there's always people outside of your country watching, which means that we all have an accent. So I think, yeah, I don't know. To me, it still blows my mind. Like I love what we do. I love that we get to show up and help people with our content. But to have that many people subscribe is yeah, it's pretty mind blowing for me as well.
Let me ask you that question. I know I'm off topic, and I'm sure that
Already,
the team at Wave is like, Chad, we're here for this. But I'm sorry, I've got to know. You mentioned this, right? So for us, we're like, oh, it's an Australian accent. That's so cool. People in Australian, what accent do they hear and go, oh, that's so cool?
I think most of them, but probably the one that we hear the most is the American Canadian accent because we get a lot of American TV shows. So yeah, those are the ones that we hear a lot more. But really, you meet anyone in person that is not Australian, then it's same as everywhere else in the rest of the world. It's going to stand out. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, so let's jump into the topic, right? Live stream with the gear and the things that you have. As a foundation, how did you get into this whole not just live streaming but video? What was the journey? How'd that happen?
Yeah, my background was a behind the camera thing more than in front of camera. So I was shooting corporate videos as a producer, director, and editor. I shot Netflix documentaries. I worked with a big wave surfer and got to travel and film him and fly around the world and do some crazy stuff with that. And I was also doing live streaming for the Australian government as well. So I'm more a tech behind the scenes person than an on-camera person. So the start of this journey for us to make a YouTube channel, it's definitely been pushing comfort zones for me to get in front of camera. Even though I knew what I had to do and was helping people from the other side of the camera, the moment you step out in front of it, it's like you forget everything. You're making all the mistakes that you see people make all the time. So I like that this has been a growth journey and has definitely been pushing comfort zones. But also we leave up all of our original videos. So if you want a good laugh, go and check those out because your first videos, your first live streams, they will be your worst ones. And it really is that striving for growth and practice to push to get comfortable with this stuff so that you can have impact with what you're doing.
Gotcha. Do you feel like do you still get nervous?
Always. I'm not like
Yeah.
this is like no. This is good fun. I love live streams now. It did take a while, and my first live stream, I totally freaked out. I didn't have a plan or anything in place. I pushed it just like I'll wing it. I just pressed go live. I think if maybe only 2 or 3 people showed up, which is good. But I just freaked out, didn't know what to say. And I just pretended I had technical difficulties and shut it down. And I was like, okay, I am never doing that ever again. I'm going to have a plan. I'm going to have like staged questions or anything. Yeah, but I guess I learned those things the hard way. But even knowing that I would never do that for a client, why would I do that for me? It's so yeah, it's been a journey.
Now, when the topic, today is live streaming and doing this with the gear that you have. So when we say with the gear that you have, like how basic are we really talking?
Yeah, so I mean, I know that a lot of people hear this all the time, that the content is the most important piece. It really is. You can get great results just picking up your phone and pressing go live if you've got a plan in place and maybe some dummy questions. That's really all you need. Like even right now, I'm just using the built-in webcam on my MacBook Pro. I'm not using a fancier webcam. I can switch to one and you can see the difference, but it's not like, well, okay, that's a lot brighter. Here's another camera that we have set up, but the one that I'm using here for this to, again, remove your excuses, It's just the built-in one. So it's really like, as long as the content is there, the content is engaging, it's helping people, it's entertaining them, it's something that they're interested in, that's the most important piece. So you really can use just your phone, just your webcam. And obviously there's things you can do to level up, but and we can dive into that for sure. But it really is, you probably have everything you need right now to be able to go live and to start having impact.
Okay, that's easy to say. Which, by the way, guys, don't forget, use the hashtag #LiveBetter for your chance to win stickers or one of our mugs, the new Wave.video mug that I'm using here. Let me grab this here.
You look like a Simpsons character on there. It's good.
I know they call
Does
it
it
Yellow
make it
Chad.
taste better?
You know, there's something about having the yellow version of your face on a mug that just enhances the flavor of the bean somehow.
Yeah.
But use the hashtag #LiveBetter to be entered in, and along with it, hashtag #LiveBetter and any key takeaways that you get as Justin is sharing stuff with us. But like I said, it's okay. So it's easy to say you can do it, but you've got tons of experience. You've been doing this for a long time. You've got 1 million YouTube subscribers. So I need you to convince me.
Convince you. Okay, so have you ever watched a live stream that was just, you were scrolling through Facebook or on YouTube, and it was someone that was just live on their phone, that you were engaged, you were interested, you learned something, you maybe liked or followed or subscribed to that person, or you wanted to come back? Has that ever happened, even once? And I would imagine it probably has.
I can't say that I can like pinpoint an exact one, but I'm also well aware of the fact that I've watched many people go live that more than likely, yes, they probably did.
And yes, there's some things that people do that is just like, I can't watch this. There's bad background noise. They're rambling. You don't know what they're talking about. So there's bad examples, but there's also some really good ones. And the most important ones, think of even Instagram Live. I think that's the perfect example. It's much more difficult to do a professional Instagram Live because you have to be doing it from your phone. You can't easily have more professional cameras and professional microphones and things on it, yet there is still an audience from it. Exactly the same as TikTok Lives. You can get more pro, but most people that are doing it aren't. They're just using their phones. Even a lot of the gaming channels and whatever, they're just using basic webcams. It's the engagement, it's the content, it's the entertainment that they're bringing that is the most important piece. And yes, I can see just coming. Chad does have a better camera. He does. It looks good.
But it's just an old DSLR though too. I'm not using like the latest, the EV10 or the mirrorless, blah blah blah. It's an old camera. Okay, so if fancy gear's not the main thing, then what makes somebody come across as a professional live streamer? What do you recommend that they focus honing in on as far as skills to look professional but using the gear they have?
Okay, so even if you are going to use basic gear or even more professional gear, audio and lighting are two things that are really going to make a big difference. Even like with your amazing shot there, if you had terrible audio right now, it would be really hard to watch and to listen and to want to engage with you. So the audio is actually more important than the video piece of it, because we're going to get annoyed quicker. We're going to switch off if there was a lot of wind in the background or echo or feedback. You're going to switch off. So you want to make sure that you are upping your audio or getting the best audio that you can. And also you want to make sure that you are lit well. So if you're dark, if it's, webcams, typically they're not great in low light. So if you don't have much light, then it's going to be a very pixelated image. So you want to make sure that you're sitting in front of a window, or you've got some light coming through, or even for me, I've just got one basic light here that's just shining in front of me. So you want to make sure that you are lit well, that people can see you, that you are the focus. Worry about the background and everything else as a secondary. But people need to be able to see you, and they need to be able to hear you and focus on and hear what it is that you're saying and understand it without needing to strain or for it to be an effort for them.
Gotcha. And I know that a lot of ears perked up when they heard you say, make sure that you're lit. And I'm glad that you clarified exactly what that meant, because there is a good version of lit that will help you on your live streams, and then there's a version of lit that probably will end badly. So appreciate you clarifying that. piece there. Okay, so if all I need is the equipment I have, why do you use higher end equipment for your video?
For actual video, I do use a DSLR camera. For live streams, for the most part, I will just use the webcam that's built in, like I am right now, or I will switch to one of the other webcams. I very rarely actually use a DSLR mirrorless camera as a webcam, even though you can, even though it definitely looks better. There's more that can go wrong. And for me, as someone who is a more tech savvy person, I have an IT degree. I love geeking out on this stuff. It's almost sometimes to the detriment as well, because I'm changing things all the time. There's less that can go wrong if I just keep it simple. And I mean, we've had one comment already saying your camera is better. That's because they're side by side. I mean, I could switch to one too, and it might look a little bit sharper. But it's really more about, again, the content and engaging people with your content here. If they don't know, or they're having if they're having a bad experience, as in you're having technical issues. I mean, we were on a call the other day and the camera went flat and there was a glitching out and there was all these extra things, right? And you knew I didn't want to bring that up, but
No, it's fine. I didn't know what went wrong. My camera suddenly was like showing up really small. It wasn't fitting the full screen.
So while it's good when it works, for me, I'm at the point where I'd much rather just have stuff work so I can focus on showing up for the audience, adding value to them with less things going wrong. So it's not about having it look perfect. I'd much rather, look, if there's things I'm going to level up, as I said, it's the lighting and it's the audio. But to me, it's, if everything works well, which it does a lot of the time, if you level up, it's good. But when you need it to work, you can have extra issues. And for that, I'd rather not have those headaches. But it's also a big procrastination point for people, is that they'll think I can't do live streaming until I've got that fancy DSLR. Or Chad's using a Sony camera. Now I need a Sony camera. And that's then delaying them actually taking action. So then they'll go get all this fancy gear. They'll have tech issues. They won't know how to set it up properly. And they still have never done a live stream. So when they do go live, they've then got all the extra stuff that comes with it, like fear of being on camera. What do I say? What if no one shows up? All of this extra stuff, it just compounds. So this is where I like keeping it simple. Go live with what you have. Practice. Yeah, level up. I'm not saying don't ever go buy a nice camera, but you don't need it, is where we're coming from.
By the way, guys, don't forget, use the hashtag LiveBetter and share any key takeaways that you get today from the show. We'll be using those comments and the engagement to decide on our winners of our stickers and the new coffee mug and all the wonderful stuff. So hashtag LiveBetter and share with us something that you learned today, or just a key takeaway that was a little nugget for you. Kate has a great question here. She's asking, what percent of your success do you contribute to gear?
I used to think that the gear was what made it. We have lighting tutorials on our YouTube channel where the lighting in the video is terrible, and there's not one comment on how bad my lighting actually is. The comments are all, thank you so much, you've helped me, I've now gone and got this light, or my lighting's now so much better. So this is where, like, I know that we keep hearing it. I know I keep saying, like, content's the most important thing. It's showing up and giving value is the most important thing, but it really is. And getting caught up in the tech was something that, I mean, I enjoy the tech. I love geeking out and playing. The fact that I've got 3 different cameras here that I can switch between if I wanted to, like, I love that stuff.
Sure.
But it just adds extra complexity. And this is where, like, so I used to think that, yes, the tech was really important. And now I'm not anti-tech, but I'm just trying to keep stuff simple to try and encourage other people that they don't need it. And that's why I love the topic of today's session, because, yeah, I'll geek out on this stuff all the time, but it's not needed. And for a lot of the time, it's just going to slow people down.
No, it totally makes sense. It's one of the things I like about the Wave studio, and I know you and I have messed around in there, is that there's features in there that allow you to get a little extra, crazy with it, and and you can add little overlays and things that move and whatever. But there's also a simplistic component to it, where you can.
But to do that, it is simple, right? It's not like you need to go and learn a Wirecast or an OBS and you're configuring everything from scratch. like that's where services like that are awesome, because it's giving you the best of both worlds. So you can be more complex, you can be, create a more professional stream without needing to go to the extreme. And your chances of messing something up. I mean, now you've got everything set up here. You're just clicking a few different buttons, right? And just not to oversimplify your job, but the power of the tools that we have, right?
Just the monkey with the symbols.
That's it. You're doing a great job there. Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, let's do this, because I know people are asking. Everybody, they're obviously people who are watching this. They live stream. They do want to up their game. They are feeling maybe a little bit better about, okay, you know what? I can relax. I don't have to, get permission from my wife or my husband to spend a little extra money. I can be okay with what I have. But let's go through a few things. Let's take people on a little bit of a journey of progression through some of the major components. We're going to assume that all of you are using Wave.video and for your live streaming, and if not, make sure that you sign up so we can get you access to the beta. But we're going to go with that. So what would you say, like, the big three are audio, lights, and camera?
Yeah.
Fair? Okay.
Fair.
Or pretty face.
You need a plan as well, right? So tech-wise, yes, those are the things. Yeah.
Okay, and a plan, and we'll get to that. But today, right, our big thing right now is gear, right? So we're talking about going with the gear you have. So let's start audio. Okay, I'm using the mic in my earbuds right now. I have a little bit of budget. What's the next 2 or 3 steps I take to improve it?
As in specific gear recommendations? You want me
to do gear recommendations, or you can do a type if you're like, go to a shotgun, or go to a wireless lav, or whatever. Or if there's a specific mic that USB or XLR, whatever. This is your world.
So this is where, again, I take the approach that there never is a perfect solution. There isn't a perfect microphone. There's not a perfect microphone for everyone. It's going to come down to your budget. It's going to come down to your use case. Is the environment that you're going to be live streaming in or recording, is it noisy? Is there a lot of wind? What can you do to have any microphone? Like, how do you treat the environment? Can you get out of the wind, or can you put in blankets or pillows or cushions around your computer, around your microphone that you have, even the built-in one in your computer, to make it sound better? So it's not just like you need this piece of gear. Is that you could get away with a $15 Boya BYM1 lapel microphone, right? That's what we used on our YouTube channel for years. And it's an amazing $14 now, used to be $20 microphone. You can use it for live streaming. So something like that is a great way that you're getting better audio than the built-in one. It's a clip-on microphone, but you could also still be getting a lot of wind noise or echo or anything like that. So this is where I look at what can you do to level up? And it should be really any microphone is going to be better than whatever is built into your computer. Please don't use the one that's built into the webcam, because they are terrible. A lot of the newer webcams actually aren't putting them in anymore, so that's telling you something. But even using like a headset microphone like this is going to be better, because your mouth is going to be, or your audio source is going to be close to the microphone. So you're going to remove a lot of that extra noise, extra background. So yeah, we can geek out on tech, but it's going to be, again, I'm going to fly the flag for keeping it simple. Get your microphone, whatever type of microphone it is, close to your mouth, and try to remove any distractions in your audio or anything that's going to make it bad. So it could be that you're using your AirPods. Perfect. That's better than the built-in ones. It's keeping it simple. Where did you start? I mean, you're a tech gear guy like me. Where, like, your first live streams, your first videos, what were you starting out with?
My first live streams, I was using mic built into the earbuds.
There you go.
A little built in. Yeah, absolutely.
And so then it comes down to the look of your shot as well. So some people are happy with that. Other people don't want to have it. Some people would look at what I'm doing here with this and just be like, oh, I can't believe he's doing that. Why didn't he tuck it behind? Why doesn't he use the proper ear things? And it's like, to me, I want to be able to see you. I want to be able to interact. And the rest is, it's not too bad. I did wear a dark shirt so that you wouldn't see the cable as bad. But also for me, how I like, and my personal preference on a shot like this, and this is from my video background, is I prefer not to see the microphone. So I've got the microphone for me out of shot. But
Right.
for other people, like, I mean, and this is where it's personal preference. It doesn't matter. Like, you look amazing. You're like a radio presenter there. Like, it's good. Like, with the
Right.
microphone there in front.
But it's a planned look.
It is a planned look, and
Right.
this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whichever, like, I mean, I've this is the same. This is a planned look to not have the microphone in shot, and so this is where there is no perfect solution for everyone. But the goal is, how do I get good audio? How do I make it so I can hear? So you want to have earbuds in or whatever it is, so you can hear with removing feedback. But also, how do I treat the room easily? Now, I've done live streams in hotel rooms with my laptop, and I am literally just grabbing blankets and cushions and stuff and just putting them around the laptop to stop the sound bouncing back off the walls and coming back, and that can make a huge difference. Like, even now, I'm talking into a corner of a room. I have some sound blankets, just like moving blankets, cheap things from Home Depot or from Bunnings here in Australia, that are just behind the computer to stop the sound bouncing back to the microphone. I nearly said microwave. We don't want to use microwaves.
Okay, so let's move to lights. You know, first time I ever went live, I just had the light in the ceiling fan.
Light in the ceiling fan. Okay, right. I missed that. Yeah, sweet. And that's what most people are going to have, right? They're going to have whatever lights are in the room that they've got. For some people, though, what I would suggest is, if you're going to be sitting right underneath the light, then it's going to give you like shadows down. You'll have panda eyes, probably like I do have a little bit here now, and really crazy shadows. So you, if possible, move back so the light's not directly above you. It's coming down on like a 45-degree angle. Or turn off the ceiling light and just grab a portable LED light or any light, a desk light, whatever you've got in your house already. And you can bounce the light off a wall so that it's coming back onto your face, lighting you up again as the priority, but it's coming back softer. It's not just the hard light that's shooting you in the face. Or sit in front of a window. Some of the biggest YouTube channels literally just use webcam sitting in front of a window, or their phone sitting in front of the window, because you got that nice, soft, natural light coming through. So again, it's use what you have and do the best you can with the environment you're in. You don't need to wait to do this stuff. You've got enough now.
I agree. It seems like, and the next thing being cameras, that everybody has gotten so. Of course, now they've got virtual ways to do it, and of course, it doesn't look as good. But everybody got so big into using the mirrorless with the depth of field lenses that made sure they got the blurry, bokeh effect in the backgrounds and everything. And of course, now it's like, okay, you just seen one, you've seen them all. They're all there.
Yeah. It does look good, though.
Yeah, I mean, it does. But at the same time, is it necessary? Is there another look that is okay?
I mean, there's some people that went too far with it, and they'd be in these locations, amazing backgrounds, and it's just blurred because they just blurred the absolute whatever out of it. So it's more there. It's an artistic, creative choice. For me, with our YouTube videos, like, I've just got color in the background. Yeah, there's some cool tech and switch pods and stuff that are back there, but for me, the look that we have in our YouTube thing, it's just color. So it is blurred enough that you could probably make out what the products are, but they're not enough to distract you to sit there and go, oh, that tripod's actually laying down. Why is that tripod laying down? Why hasn't he fixed that? It's, again, you want to make it, people can focus on you. So can they hear you? Can they see you without being distracted by noise or whatever else is going on?
Someone says you can use a smartphone and wear camo and it works. They look really good.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so you're using the camera that's built into your computer. Not everybody has one that's, maybe as great as what you've got there. But if somebody does want to take a next step from using just the built-in camera, what do you suggest?
I would say, again, it's going to come down to your budget. You could use your phone as a webcam. There's some great apps to help you do that now. While I like that you can do it and the look is pretty good, if it's your main phone, I couldn't imagine like having my main phone there. Like, we got YouTube videos showing you how to do all this stuff, but then at the same time, is it actually practical? There's someone calls you in the middle of a live stream or something happens, and then it's like your camera goes off. So I like that you can do it. And if you did have your phone in do not disturb mode or blocking mode or whatever, like awesome, it's going to be better than a webcam. But a webcam will be a step up from the built-in one that is in your computer as well. So you can, even the old Logitech C920, like that thing's, I think that came out in 2012. Still going to be a big step up from what you've got in most computers these days.
Yeah, no, I agree. I still have one. It's sitting over here. So absolutely. Okay, so we kind of covered the gear that you have. You talked about a plan. So we've got quite a few people here starting to ask some comments. Let's take a look here. They're asking a little bit about. Kate wants to know
using a 700 mil lens. What's so people can see my pause. Well done. Yeah, that's good. That's impressive.
What's your greatest content secret? I mean, if you're willing to share that, I guess.
Secret. Okay. It's probably not a secret because I share it a lot, but it's doing the research before you create content. It's doing some quick keyword or topic research. Really, it's viewer research to see that there is actually demand or that people actually want the content before you create it. Most people say, hey, I've got a great idea. I'm going to go live. I'm going to talk about this thing. Now, unless that's something that people want or that you've already got enough of a following that when you go live, people just join regardless of the topic, it's much more beneficial to say, hey, we're going to talk about this specific topic, and you're articulating it in the way that your viewers are typing it into Google or YouTube to try and solve that pain or problem. So you can see, first off, what are people calling it? What are they, what are they associating it with? And how many people are actually looking for that topic. So this is where we come up for all of our YouTube videos. It's not me coming up with a great idea. Hey, let's go make this. Right. Very rarely do I have great ideas. We're looking at Google and YouTube to see what are people searching for? What do we want our channel to show up for when people are stuck with something? And then even if those are more beginner, more early stage topics, how do I take the viewer from there? Because that's what they want. We know that's what they want. That's what they're typing in, to be then where we think they need to be. So give them what they want, then tell them what they need is really the approach. And a lot of people have heard that before, but this comes through the live streaming as well. So if I was going to be interviewing someone and I knew that I was going to bring Chad on and he's an amazing storyteller, so we're going to dive deep into how you tell an effective story, I would be doing some research around what are the specific questions, specific things that people are Googling or looking on YouTube for in regards to storytelling. And it's going to come up with some great ideas for you. There's another website, Answer the Public, is another great place where you can type in a few different words and it's going to give you a list of topics, but also how many people are searching for those topics or want that content. So I would be doing that so that then if I did repurpose the live stream afterwards, I've got clear nuggets or topics that I know that people want as well, making it easier and more effective to repurpose.
Wow, I love that. Guys, make sure you're using the hashtag LiveBetter. Share your questions, any key little nuggets that you're getting from this. That's a cool website. I'm not familiar. I'm answerthepublic.com. Lyle was actually asking, are there other tools that you use to help you do your research? You know, like how do you find out what people are Googling?
Yeah, so where we go first is we go to YouTube, or you could do it on Google as well, and you start typing in a few different words. So it could be editing software, right? As humans, we're lazy. We want something. We go to Google or YouTube. We type in a couple of words, but it's never actually, well, very rarely, so specific as to what you actually want. So if someone was searching for editing software and just typed into Google editing software, what could they want? They could want to know the different types of editing software. They could want to know how to edit. They might already have a piece of software that they're looking for, and they want to sort of validate that. So what does Google and YouTube do? They pop up that auto suggestion box, and it's like, did you mean? And there's like 10 or 15 different things in there. Those aren't just random suggestions. Those are things that people have actually searched for and are actually searching for. So it's helping you guide your lazy human 2 to 3 words that you're putting into Google and YouTube. And it's telling you, did you mean these things? Because these are previous things that people have wanted. So that's where we're going first off, is that I'll type in 2 to 3 words. We'll use the little underscore, the little line across the bottom. It's a wild card that essentially is, a fill in the blank. So I could do video underscore editing, and it would bring up things like fill in the blank in the middle. So there's different things
I did
you can
not
do
know
with
that.
Yeah, it is huge. Or put it at the start. So you can do underscore video editing and it might say DIY, it might say best. But where we take this one step further is that we use a plugin called Keywords Everywhere, and that will overlay in that autofill box the amount of searches per month that actually happens with that.
Wow.
Those suggestions. So that's pretty much our keyword research in a nutshell. There's other tools and things like TubeBuddy for YouTube tags and gives you further insight into competition scores. But for where we're really looking is that YouTube autofill and then how many searches with that Keywords Everywhere plugin.
Wow. Amazing. Someone had just a question. You know, you get bigger into the live streaming world and you're setting up channels and trying to brand yourself. Catherine was asking if you have any advice for somebody who's trying to name their YouTube channel, not the video, but the channel.
Yeah, good question. And this is another place we see a lot of people get stuck. And first off, know that you can change it afterwards. So again, something is better than nothing if it means that you're going to start. So if you're struggling with this and there's lots of different topics and things that you could use, you could just start with your name because it's brand you. If you're going to be in the videos, that your name could just be the perfect name for the channel. Or if you can also add in something around like to give context to the type of content that you would be creating as well, then that's also going to help people say, all right, so Primal video. I have no idea what the Primal bit means, but video, it's got something to do with video.
Right.
So what we did with our channel name was we went a hybrid, losing my voice, hybrid. We went Justin Brown - Primal video. So it's got a human name because humans like to connect with humans. And it's also then got our business name, our brand name, which even though it doesn't really mean much in the big scheme of things, people know what type of content we have. But the idea with us having my name on there as well was, I mean, it's not just about me. We have a team. I have a business partner, my brother, Mike. So it's not just me running the show. So at some point we'll be dropping my name off and we will now just leave it as Primal Video. But when we were starting, it was easier to hedge our bets to go a hybrid so that we're, you know, some people remember a name, others remember a business or a brand name, but we went both to hedge our bets.
Gotcha. And for those of you who don't know, that's right. Justin is not the only Brown. He does have a brother.
I'm not the brains of the operation. Unfortunately, I'm just the face, the puppet. The strings up here controlling me. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you've got your topic and you know what people are searching for, and so all right, I'm going to do a live video or I'm going to do a produced video about this topic. How do you go then about taking it and creating the content plan of that video? What do you want to figure out exactly what it is you want to say? What do you want to share?
Yeah, and I guess this is very similar to what you would be doing with all of your live shows as well. You'd be looking at it saying, cool, I've got this guest in. This is the topic of what, you know, the things we want to cover. What did
I didn't even know you were coming here till like 10 minutes before the show.
Well, I literally just got a text. It's like, you're on in 5 if you're around. I'm like, all right, just kidding. So this is where, again, having this plan in place, but not just a plan for you to run it. It's the step before that is, what do I need to give my viewers? What can I give my viewers? If I saw a video or a live stream of this topic, what are the questions that I would have as a viewer? And the more of those things that you can add in there to really build out the best live stream, the best piece of content, it is going to make it a much better experience for the viewers, but it's also going to make it much easier and much more fun for you running the live show because you know the different things then that you want to cover. So you have a plan in place. But the other thing that this does, by having this plan in place, and even like you've got maybe some guidelines or a bit of a run sheet that you're going through, he's like, yeah, I don't have it. Yeah, he does. Is you can actually do your keyword research on those questions or topics that you want to cover. And you then know that this is a piece of content that someone wants. And I talk about the individual questions inside of the longer live stream. You can then take those when you're repurposing your live stream afterwards, knowing that that one specific question or topic that you're going to talk about is its own standalone piece of content that you can just chop out, maybe shoot a new intro or a new ending for it. But you've actually got something that's not, you're not trying to edit down bits and pieces and cut sentences in half afterwards, which is possible, but it's much harder. You can effectively create a live stream podcast or a long form piece of content that is much easier to repurpose and that's actually going to work better on other platforms than something that's kind of cut and half-assed and done afterwards.
What
I don't know if I said that.
No, yeah, no, that's okay. We'll edit it in post.
Thank you. Go tell mom.
Last time we have an Aussie on the show.
Yeah.
Now we know what the Primal thing is about.
That's it.
What somebody who's starting to do all this, go live streaming and do these things. What are, let's say, 3 things that they should really focus on trying to stand out as far as be better than others? What are some ways that they can stand out quickly?
Yeah, I think this is a great question. I'd love to hear your thoughts on someone who is interviewing people and doing all these amazing live shows all the time as well. But I think the biggest one for me is it always comes back to, if you want to stand out, yeah, I mean, there's the bells and whistles stuff. Like, you could have a nice background, something that stands out. But the thing that people will keep coming back for isn't your pretty scene, isn't your amazing microphone, right? They're going to come back for the content. They're going to come back for the way it's delivered, the personality, how authentic, how real you are on there. And I guess all of that comes down to the value that you bring. If you're someone that's constantly pitching your own courses and programs, and like, that's a great question, I'm going to give you a little bit, but then for the rest, you've got to come over here and pay. Like, you're gonna annoy people, and a lot of people do that. That's fine. That's their lead gen in, but that's not us. And that's the approach like that we take for our YouTube channel as well, and for our live streams, is we don't want to hold back. We want to give people a great experience. You're giving up your time to be on here watching now. How can I help? How can we, leave you leaving here with something, with your question answered, with something that you can take and go and implement. So this leading with adding value is really what it comes down to for me. So, which is, again, don't get caught up in the tech, don't get caught up with the pretty backgrounds, microphones, all that stuff. Look at the viewer. What can I give the viewer? So for you, like, what's your answer for this question? Like, just to put you back onto this.
No,
you asked for 3. I gave you 1. So this is my distraction right now. So
I think, well, obviously, I mean, you want to have content that people want, but you don't want people to just feel like they're being talked to. You want them to feel like they're engaged. But I think sometimes that hosts and people that get on live, they feel like they have to put on this persona, or they have to be like this certain level of professionalism, or it's like, be yourself and have fun and just make it a conversation. Like, I'm sitting here talking to Justin. Yes, I have some of these scripted questions, and there's things that we want to ask, and we want to get to your questions and all. But when something fun happens, make it fun. Don't just relax, enjoy the ride, do things like play the national anthem of Australia. It's okay to have a good time. And I think like the graphics and things, like you said, people don't really come back for it. I think they can add something.
Definitely
if it's I used to do a show where we had an elevator that opened and we let the guest go in, and we still have people that'll message me, hey, we missed the elevator, and but it was consistent. So if you're going to do something visual like that, then make sure that it's consistent. Make it something people look forward to. Oh, I know what's coming in this next scene they're going to do.
But that's value. Yeah. Right. You're entertaining people. That's bringing value. That's something that people are sticking around for. It wasn't that they were coming in to check out, you're using your Sony camera, or that they like the amount of blur in the background. Right. It's the value that you're bringing. And I was in that elevator once, and it's a scary place. It's but it is those things. So yes, you can definitely use the tools that you have to add more value. But there's a lot of people that get caught up in, like, especially like the camera tech and those sorts of things, and that's not where the value is. I hope we didn't lose too many people in this live stream when I said I'm just using the built-in camera on the Mac. They're like, oh, I can't watch this, it's disgusting.
They're like, I'm already more advanced than this show.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect. Good. That's where I want you to be. For my side, not Chad. Look at Chad's. It looks amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've got, my lights are a little too bright and today it's hot in here. So now I'm starting to get a little sweaty or whatever. So,
Same.
whatever. We all have issues and things to work on. Well, let me ask you this, this would be a good one. What are maybe the top 3 compliments you get from people who watch your videos? I
Well, I
like
get
this because,
all right, so we get that the way that we explain it, and this is something that I really enjoy, and it's something that I guess I try to pride myself on, is that being a tech person, there's a lot of people that are just way too techy and they can only speak tech. People won't understand what they're saying. Like they
right.
just nerd out, right? So I like that I can do that, and I definitely enjoy doing that. But then I also enjoy like simplifying stuff down so that people who have no idea what I'm talking about or what geek speak is, that they can understand, they can follow along, and they can level up. So we kind of take that approach for all of our content. Like I personally don't think editing is hard. But I've seen a lot of editing videos where people just overcomplicate it. I'm like, people don't need to know this unless they're going to edit a film. So what I strive for is, how do I take something that a lot of people think is complicated or complex, and how do I just give them the stuff that they need to go and start, which is why we do a lot of beginner tutorials. I don't think we've ever really done an advanced tutorial because there's not that many people that actually want an advanced tutorial. Like the most people that actually progress to an advanced level are normally very small. There's way more people that are stuck back at the beginner level, just looking to start. So that's what we look for. So a lot of the comments that we get now, which is awesome, is thank you, this helped. I watched so many other videos. I wish I'd watched this one first. You look like Chris Martin from Coldplay. I'm still not sure if that's a good thing or not.
That's hilarious. I'll tell you a funny story on that. When I was younger, I used to always get my doppelganger. People would always tell me that, oh, you favor Emilio Estevez. Well, maybe 6 months ago or something, somebody was doing the who's your doppelganger post. And so I posted one, and somebody said, you remind me of Martin Sheen, which is Emilio Estevez's dad. So yeah,
there you go.
That was quite funny that well, great. I aged into the father version. That was, what are the odds? That was hilarious.
That's all right. Pretty funny.
3 things you would have done different if you started it all fresh today.
Okay. 3 things if I started again today that I wouldn't stress about. I used to stress so much about making videos, and I used to be stressed about lighting, about cameras and all this. I know it sounds silly because that's our channel, but the fear of judgment that I had, where I'm like, I'm teaching this stuff and I wouldn't film a video like this for my clients. Like I had access to stuff that we were using for documentaries and big projects, but then for our channel, I couldn't be teaching it and using that gear because people that's all right for you, but you're using $1,000 microphone.
Right.
So that's the kind of stuff that it did my head in for a long time. It's like, how do I kind of take a step back? And again, like what do the viewers need? That's something that I struggled with for a long time, and not doing the research for videos. I was just coming up with, hey, this is a great editing tip. Use these 3 keyboard shortcuts. The problem with that is no one's looking, or very few people are looking for keyboard shortcuts for video editing to edit faster. No, they're looking for, how do I edit faster? And the way that I teach them to edit faster just happens to be with some keyboard shortcuts. So it was I was focusing on the solution. Here's the solution, but people can't find the solution because they're back over here typing, going to Dr. Google or Dr. YouTube to self-diagnose and solve their problem. But I'm speaking to the solution. That's probably the biggest thing that we see a lot of people with their content, is they focus on, like, you guys need this, but people can't find this because they're looking for the problem. So it's your job. If you want your content to show up and be effective, you need to do that research to see, what are people actually searching for? What are they looking for? Where are they stuck? How can I help? And you take them from that problem stage to what the solution is. That was probably one of the biggest shifts in our channel that really kicked it into gear, was helping people find our content. And then coming from that place of, how do I not hold back in our videos? How do I not make them need to go and watch 5 more videos? So we don't have a time limit or a time goal with our videos. One of the most popular questions I get is, how long does a video need to be? It needs to be as long as it needs to be to give the viewers everything that they need to have success or have completion with the topic of the video that you've promised them, and no longer. Don't pad it out. Don't do the Ryan Seacrest thing or coming up soon is this. No, just tell them. But tell them in a way, and this is another thing I struggle with starting off with, tell them in a way that is logical. It's a logical step-by-step process, pathway for them to follow. I have a squirrel brain disease worse than most other people that I know. And where I started making videos is I would be giving pros and cons of things. I'd be saying, all right, this is it. I love this because of this. It's an amazing feature. But this thing over here, this really sucks. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention is it's also got there. So that's how my brain works. So I wasn't planning things out enough. And I wasn't structuring things, again, in a way that was helpful to the people watching. So it is really, to answer your question in one thing, it's to take a step back and think of your viewers. What do they need? How do I best get this information to them, as short as it can be, but without leaving them with more questions?
I love it. And you do that. I've seen lots of your stuff. All right, guys, we're going to take a little break from this and play a quick little game here with Justin, just to have a little fun.
I'm having technical issues. I get
What? No, it's not like the time I did what we did to you on the other show. This is, you know, I have rules and things. You know, there's.
He brought up random photos that he dug up from like MySpace accounts that had been shut down for years, and I don't know. He's like, well, explain this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wish we could do that here. Maybe one day they'll give me that much leeway. I don't think it's going to happen. But anyway.
Thank you, Wave.
All right. So this is a little deal we call this or that. We're just going to put two options on the board, and we want to know which is your preference, maybe why. Folks, play along. We want to know yours as well. John Pullum says, get in the elevator. All right.
Yeah. Never again.
Never again. All right. Call or text?
Text. It really depends on the person, who it is. So if you were calling, I'd probably just say text me. No, I would definitely answer. But there's a lot of people that I don't know, text. It depends. I have to say it depends on this one. What would your pick be?
Text.
Text? Just get to the point.
Yeah, unless it's my
limited amount of space, just tell me what you want.
Yeah, unless it's like my wife or my kids, like text. My wife's voicemail even says, I can't get to the phone right now, so just text me like a normal person.
Love it. Yeah. So I got a text a minute ago. I saw it pop up on my screen, and it is my wife texting saying, how do I work the coffee machine? And I'll just stop this live stream and text you back the full set of instructions. Right. No, I'm going to call. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. I'll be right back to the show, folks. I've got a coffee emergency at the house.
It's important. It's coffee, so it is important. Yeah.
TV or book?
Audiobook.
Audiobook. I mean, now you're just making up options.
Well, I'm one of I don't struggle to read, but I definitely find if I sit down with a book, I'm more likely to end up having a power nap or falling asleep. And I find I just read the same sentence maybe 4 or 5 times. It doesn't really sink in. Right. But if I'm hearing it, especially if I'm driving and I have, audiobooks or podcasts or whatever going, and I can speed it up and I can listen to it at 2 or 3 speed, I love it. I'm consuming content quick. The way, so audiobook.
Fair enough. For me, it just depends on, I guess, what the genre is. If I'm going to learn something, I'd rather read it than watch it. Yeah. Iced coffee or hot coffee?
It depends. Right now, it's quite warm here, so I've been onto the iced coffees. But I think, in general, it's a hot coffee. How about you? Has it got cream or milk in it for you, or are you a black coffee person?
I'm a little cream and a little bit of stevia. I don't even know the right way to pronounce it.
Sweetener, yeah.
But hot. I'm even in the middle of summer here. I'm still hot. I just don't. The iced coffee just never did it for me.
Yeah, it's got okay. Yeah. If I had to pick one, it's hot coffee. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and we're seeing that's what people are saying here is hot as well. So yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
There's something like the iced latte or something. That to me, like if it's got the milk or cream or whatever in it, that's a no from me. Yeah. That's strange. Yeah.
Okay. We talked about this earlier actually, but big party or small group?
Probably small group. A small group of good people, have like good conversation. I think the types of people, I mean, you can have a big party with a lot of good people, but I'd much rather, I don't know, connect and have good conversations with good people in a smaller group than a big
Yeah,
party.
I'm the same way. I like our small little gatherings that we have at the different conferences and stuff, and
Yeah.
the big ones where you start to feel pressured, like, oh, I need to make sure I talk to them. I need to make sure I talk to them. I'm supposed to
Yeah.
talk to them, and oh, I don't want to hurt
And
their
then it becomes a
feelings.
real quick, like surface level conversation. So you just like, all right, I've got to go see someone else. And you don't get to the meat of the conversation.
Okay, random question that was asked is, do you like Vegemite?
I do like Vegemite. If you, I guess, spread it right or make it right. There's too many people that just like lather it on like peanut butter. That would be disgusting. So no, you have to have the right amount on there. So making it is kind of an art form. And it's something that they teach you at birth here in Australia. There's tests on it through school. Are you doing this right?
Most people here in the U.S. are like, what?
Yeah. What's a Vegemite?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you eat
like
that?
is that like a superhero? Is it Vegemite?
It is. Yeah.
No. All right, last one. This is a tough one. Ninjas or pirates?
Ninjas. It is a tough one because, this is a whole, like, we could live stream just on this topic.
I know. I thought the same thing. I was like, this is a whole show.
I gotta go ninjas. What's your pick?
I would have said pirates.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I like the attire. They've got this style about them. And they're all unique and have their own look, and it's.
But in a fight though, like if there was a ninja versus a pirate, the ninja's gonna sneak up on him. They got the element of surprise, and they got, I don't know. I was gonna say they've got swords and stuff.
I mean,
so do pirates.
Yeah,
pirates probably got guns. So.
Yeah, or a ship. They're in the middle of the ocean.
Or a ship, they can sail away. That's true.
Like how did ninjas get there?
Yeah, that's a valid point. But we could talk about this all day. What's the consensus in the chat? Scroll it down.
We've got ninjas, we've got pirates, we got ninja. Now,
so ninjas is winning based on just pure numbers.
First of all, let me say I'm not surprised that Catherine agreed with you, because earlier. Catherine, let me scroll up. I know I'm not looking at the camera at the moment, but Catherine had this comment.
I'm sorry about that. Go tell him I'm sorry. I apologize. We have your Google and YouTube targeted so that everything you search, we just show up. Sorry about that.
Well, maybe next week we'll have like our this or that. One will be Justin Brown or your husband.
Oh, there you go. It better not be me.
Yeah, right? Like, I want nothing to do with this at all. Man, I'll tell you what, this has been great. Hopefully everybody left, just
hopefully everybody left.
No, they probably have. But it's been great. It's good stuff. People can leave confident, knowing, what I have right now will work. Let me focus on my presentation. Let me focus on the content. Let me focus on the delivery. Let me focus on bringing people in, being more comfortable on the camera, letting people feel more comfortable with me. And then I can worry about, all the other angles of lights and certain audio or microphone, or should my microphone be seen or not seen, or I even that vibe when I saw you a couple years ago at Social Media Marketing World speaking, that was the same kind of thing I walked away from was like, what I have works and what we have works. Just go and just create and just go enjoy it. Stop overthinking it so much. If you're wanting to do it, you probably like wanting to do it. So just enjoy it. Make it fun.
And I guess from me, it's they say that you teach the thing that you most needed to learn. That was a big point for me, was the tech and the gear, and procrastinating around it because I thought I needed to have all the latest gear and everything needed to be amazing. But it wasn't until we started not doing that it really took off. And hey, it became way easier and a lot more fun if I don't need to stress about everything. So get things set up to the best that you can with what you have right now, and start going through the motions. Like, you're not going to be a good live streamer if you never actually push go live. You could know all the tech, you could have all the processes, learn all the software, but until you actually press go live, and experience that and practice that, then it's and it's the same for creating videos. You know, you just need to go through the motions. Yeah. So what would I'm interested to hear your number one tip for people if they are just starting out their journey. What would that be from your side of things? Because you've seen a lot of people at all different levels that are creating content and live streaming, and you work with a lot, and you share their stories a lot, and you help share their stories. What would your biggest piece of advice be for someone that is starting out live streaming?
If you're gonna talk about the things that people ask you about the most often, and the things that you enjoy talking to others about as well. You know, don't overcomplicate it and overthink it. And if you can, and of course I'm a story guy, so if you can, if you can share it using stories and experiences, I think that's even better. You know, you sharing experiences of, things with your channel and how you went from this to that and made these decisions. It's people connect better with that. So if you can just get on camera and just, if you're not even sure what you want to talk about right now, just say, you know what, I've got a live show I'm going to do every other day or once a week or whatever. I'm just going to share some stories of what happened this week. Just wanted to share some stuff, guys. Here's things that happened to me this week that changed who I am. And people will tune in because they can relate to it. So, and you'll connect with them. So that, I guess that would be kind of my go. And, create something you'd want to watch is probably the biggest. If you're like, I don't know if I'd want to watch this, probably other people don't either.
Yeah. So we have the same with people that are creating YouTube channels on topics that they're not excited about. Like if you're not excited about it and you can't bring that energy to the video, then how can anyone else be excited to watch it? They'll see straight through it. Like we're not silly. We can see when someone's not enjoying something, and if you're not enjoying it, you're not smiling, you're not having fun, it's going to be very hard for people to watch and to engage. So I agree 100%.
Yeah. And you'll know too, because when you go back and watch yourself, you'll see there'll be a little extra, there'll be a glimmer in your eye. You'll be leaning a little bit forward, like both of us are doing right now, right? Neither one of us are like, we're both kind of like leaning a little forward, and our eyes are bright because we're talking about, we're like, this is our thing. We're having a good time. So, and if you're doing that, you're kind of in your sweet spot. So, all right, let's give a few things away, and then we will end this train wreck. I mean, this wonderful masterpiece of live streaming instructional wonderment. I'm just pulling words out now. So,
well done. I was wondering where you were going with it. You nailed
it. I'm a pro. It's because I'm switching. I could see you down at the bottom doing something. I don't know what you were doing, but
it's all good. It's gone now. Past this.
I gotcha. All right. So as we mentioned earlier, if you had used the hashtag LiveBetter and shared some key takeaways with us, you'd be up for the drawing. Of course, 2 winners today. Lucky winners are going to come away with our stickers with the, I say coveted yellow chat. I don't know if it's coveted, but I tell you one thing we do want you to do is make sure when you get your stickers, I'm hesitant to say it, but it's been suggested that we have you show us where you stuck the yellow Chad sticker. Yeah,
great idea.
Great idea.
It's great.
Yeah, Justin's
can you
like,
send me some stickers?
I knew. I thought you were going to be like, you know what? Actually, guys, send me the pictures of where you stuck it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, you went there.
So I just like, I know the people that I know, and I know how they are. So
yeah, I've seen a few of your friends. I've met them.
Yeah. Yes, and that's why there's restraining orders. But one lucky winner, of course, is going to get our new Wave.video LiveBetter mug that I'm using here. Not this exact one because I've used it, and you probably want your own. But let's see who they've decided the lovely winners today are for our stickers. It looks like Chantel Hills. Congratulations to Chantel.
Fellow Aussie.
Yes, I believe she made a comment about you ruined it for the rest of the Aussies today.
Sorry.
It's okay. We forgive. We're very forgiving. I don't see the second name for stickers, so it looks like maybe it's just one lucky winner of stickers today. But the winner of the mug is actually someone we've already discussed earlier, and that's Catherine Asmano. If I said that right, I hope I said your last name right. So congrats to that. If you will email Yulia at Wave.video, or you can message us. Lisa Monk also won stickers. That was our other sticker winner. Sorry, I just got
another one.
a notification. I know, right? It's like, and I don't think it was on purpose. I think our team has no idea that they picked a bunch of Aussies.
Maybe it was the time.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're awake.
You're welcome. We're all here.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, I finally got to watch Chad live. Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You are. I did it for you, the fans. Yes. Email Yulia at Wave.video. Get her your address and information, and we'll get those things sent out to you. Justin, thanks for hanging out, man. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate the invite. I'm always down. Anything with Chad, I'm in.
Well, I feel the same way with you. If you guys want to learn more, you can find Justin on YouTube. Just search for Primal Video or Justin Brown. Both will show up. Their YouTube channel. Trust me, I've watched plenty, and I do this all the time, and I still find myself going to their channel and learning and comparing things when I'm trying to make decisions on different apps and tools and whatnot. So I trust them.
That's time you can't get back, just so you know. That time it's gone now. Yeah,
it's true. It's okay. I learned a lot, and my therapist has helped me to deal with the choices I've made.
It's all we can do, right?
Exactly. Folks, had a great time. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Next week, join us. We'll be back at our regular time, noon Eastern on Wednesday. We are going to have the wonderful Ross Brand, who is the author of the live streaming predictions book with 100 different. Awesome. He's a great guy. He was here earlier joining us today, so he's going to be with us. So make sure you tune in. We'll be here Wednesday at noon, and we'll all learn together how to live better.